The Blue Jays lost Game 7 of the World Series by 1 run, without Anthony Santander in the lineup. While Bo Bichette left for the Mets and Kyle Tucker joined the Dodgers, Toronto's front office isn't panicking. They're executing a calculated championship strategy built around one uncomfortable truth. The Blue Jays reached Game 7 with their $92.5 million slugger, contributing almost nothing. This isn't a setback story. It's the foundation of Toronto's revenge architecture. Hello, Jays Nation. Welcome to Jays Quick News, your go-to spot for the latest Toronto Blue Jays updates. Today, we're breaking down the one piece of Toronto's championship puzzle that everyone's overlooking. And it's the difference between close calls and championship parades. This isn't about hoping Santander bounces back. This is about understanding why the Blue Jays front office built their 2026 strategy around unleashing a player who was already under contract. Hit that subscribe button right now because this perspective changes everything about how you see Toronto's offseason. Here are the numbers. Anthony Santander played 54 games in 2025, slashing .175.2271, .294 with 6 home runs and 18 RBI. His 0.9 FWAR tied for worst on the team. His 61 WRC C+ ranked last among qualifying Blue Jays hitters. By any measure, this was a disaster, except it wasn't his fault. And Toronto's front office knows exactly what they're dealing with. A left shoulder subluxation sidelined Santander from late May through September. This isn't a vague soreness. It's a partial dislocation that makes generating bat speed impossible. When he briefly returned before his injury, Santander was showing signs of life. Over a 10-game stretch from late April to early May, he slashed .250, 3/500 with 3 homers. Then the shoulder went, and so did Toronto's offensive ceiling. Manager Schneider just confirmed Santander is finally feeling normal entering 2026. The Blue Jays aren't just hoping for health. They're implementing a structured spring training plan to manage his workload and prevent re-injury. This is championship-level player development, not wishful thinking. When healthy from 2022-2024, Santander ranked 6th in MLB with 105 home runs. That's not potential. That's proven production. While other teams chased free agents, Toronto made the smartest move nobody's talking about. They already have their offensive upgrade under contract. Think about the organizational intelligence here. The Blue Jays went to Game 7 of the World Series with Santander on the bench. They had the best record in the American League without his bat in the lineup for 4 months. They took the defending champions to 11 innings at Rogers Center with their designated power bat, contributing essentially nothing. Now flip that equation. What happens when you add 35 home runs and 95 RBI to a lineup that already pushed the Dodgers to the absolute limit? This isn't addition by subtraction, it's multiplication by activation. The front office didn't need to spend $200 million on another bat. They needed to unlock the one they already invested in. Here's the championship architecture. Santander's luxury tax hit is just $13.72 million for 2026 due to the deferred structure of his contract. That's elite power production at mid-tier pricing. While the Mets are paying Bo Bichette $42 million annually and absorbing luxury tax penalties, Toronto gets switch-hitting power that fits their payroll strategy perfectly. Ross Atkins didn't fail this offseason. He executed exactly what a smart front office does when they already have championship pieces on the roster. Manager Schneider inherited the best clubhouse culture in baseball and took them to Game 7 in his first World Series appearance. The organization just exercised his 2026 option and is discussing a long-term extension. That's stability, that's confidence, that's championship DNA from the top down. The best championship teams maximize internal assets instead of overpaying for external solutions. Look at how the Dodgers won back-to-back titles. They activated Freddie Freeman after injury concerns, maximized Will Smith's production, and turned Miguel Rojas into a clutch playoff performer. None of those were panic moves. They were strategic asset management. Santander's blueprint is even cleaner. From 2022-2024, he posted 3 consecutive seasons of elite power, 33 homers in 2022, 28 in 2023, and a career-high 44 in 2024. That's the 6th most home runs in baseball during that span, ahead of every player except Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, Kyle Schwarber, Pete Alonso, and Matt Olson. Santander had a better strikeout rate than all of them at 20.5%. This isn't a boom or bust slugger. This is premium contact power combination hitting. The organizational patience here is remarkable. Instead of panicking after 2025 and trying to trade Santander for salary relief, Toronto doubled down on their medical staff, implemented structured recovery protocols, and positioned him as a cornerstone of their 2026 revenge tour. That's how championship organizations operate. They don't abandon talent because of injury. They invest in recovery and maximize long-term value. Here's what makes 2026 different. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is entering a contract year with something to prove. George Springer just had a career renaissance at age 36. The pitching staff that held the Dodgers to 5 runs in Game 7 returns mostly intact. And now you're adding a healthy Anthony Santander who has 40 homer upside and switch hitting versatility. Fangraph's steamer projection has Santander at .2 Humora 30, 3.9 Humora 434, with 26 home runs and 567 plate appearances. That's the conservative baseline, and it's already a massive upgrade. But consider what happens if Santander returns to his 2024 form. Batting 5th behind Guerrero, he creates impossible lineup protection. Pitchers can't pitch around Vladdy anymore without facing a switch hitter who crushed 44 homers his last healthy season. The ripple effects are championship level. Springer gets better pitches to hit with protection behind him. The entire middle of the order becomes a nightmare matchup for opposing pitchers. And Toronto does this without spending a single dollar in free agency. They're just activating assets they already control. Ross Atkins and Mark Shapiro built this roster to peak in 2026. They signed Dylan Cease to a 9-year extension. They locked up relievers who can protect late leads. They developed Trey Yesavage into a postseason weapon. Now they're betting on Santander's health to complete the championship formula. That's not desperation. That's strategic roster construction by front office executives who know exactly what they're building. The Blue Jays came within 1 run of a championship without Anthony Santander. That's the floor. Now imagine the ceiling. Toronto's 2026 season isn't about replacement. It's about reclamation. It's about a front office that recognized their most valuable offensive asset was already on the roster, recovering and preparing to prove every doubter wrong. Championship teams maximize internal talent. Toronto is about to show the league exactly how that's done. What do you think? Is Santander about to deliver the revenge tour Blue Jays fans have been waiting for? Drop your predictions in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe to Jay's Quick News for the championship coverage you won't find anywhere else.